Welcome once again to the Acoustic Kitchen here in Dublin. Today we have a great man, Dermot Whelan. That's your name, isn't it? Dermot Whelan. He plays a mandolin, he tells stories, and he does lots of other things. Tells a lot of lies too. So we're going to have a few things on Dermot. How are you, Dermot? How's it going?
Thanks very much, Liam.
What are you going to do first for us? What do you think?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I think I'll do an old recitation first.
Right.
This is a recitation I got off Georgie Mullins, a good old friend of mine, no longer with us. And the way it goes, it's called Remembering. And you have to imagine the two old lads in a pub and they're reminiscing about the old days. Anyway, I'll give it a go. Remember the fun we used to have, Ned's you and me, down by the lamplit corner with the wind coming in from the sea. Remember the ring of marbles all glassy coloured and bright, and the silver sheen of the steely as it rolled out under the light. Remember the game of jackstones, the fingers in the claw, and then flicking them up and over till your knuckles were nearly raw. Remember the game of rounders, and Billy Oxtail 1, 2, 3. I remember all the fun we had, Ned's you and me. Remember the girl called Molly, and the one that was our pal, and the freckly mutt with the pigtails, and the one called Bright-Eyed Sal. Remember them chalking their piggy beds, and how they raised their hopes, with their easy way of dancing through the twirl of the skipping ropes. I remember we all played hopscotch, and we ran to relieve yo. Then they taught us O'Grady said, and the ships in the alley-o. I remember the ring of Rosie and the fall down 1, 2, 3. I remember when they kissed us, Ned's you and me. Remember all the fun we had when we queued for the Sunday flicks, with the bullseyes 10 a penny and the black of the electric sticks. I remember the toffee apples and the papers and Nancy balls, and how we sucked our fizz bags in the bliss of the fourpenny stalls. Remember the follion upper, such terrors could spellbind you, and how we tried to save the chap by yelling, "Look out behind you!" I remember the mummy's course when we nearly done our pay, and the monster kept on staring at Ned's you and me. Remember the cowboy games we played when our lane was a Texas ranch, and Ned's was always the marshal and we were the tribe of Comanche. I remember our coats were goalposts and we kicked our old rag ball, and then the telling the ghostly stories near the gates of the haunted hall. Remember all the fun we had when we all played kick the can, and the hiss from the darkened doorways, come out and look for your man, and the blind man's buff and the queenie o and the homemade Christmas tree, and the tip and tig and none could catch Ned's you and me. So weren't they the good old days when musketeers were three, down by the lamplit corner with the wind coming in the sea? When you think of the harmless thing we did, just an innocent bit of gas, and there was no one around to tell us that these happy times would pass. Well, the freckly mutt departed, don't know what became of all, but our friend became a holy nun in the Sisters of Mary and all. And Bright-Eyed Sal went on the game, and poor Nedzer was drowned at sea. And of all the Ring of Rosie gang, there remains but you and me.
You and me.
There you go, well, man.
Fair play to you. Great stuff.
Now,
Great.
I'd like to play a little slow air now, just for the two mates of mine. They're no longer with us. That's Georgie Mullins and my good old mate Jimmy Holmes. And the name of the tune is called Páistín Fionn. And I hope I do it justice by how and ever. This is an old song I got off Georgie Mullins again, and this one is called the Inchicore Wake. Now, in this song, there's a few things mentioned, and not everybody will probably recognise or remember, but mush hats is one of them. That was a chemist that used to be in Francis Street, and they had a cure for everything. They had a remedy for everything, and you could buy anything there. So another thing was the relic, the rub of the relic. That was when your ma years ago, when you hurt yourself, she'd get the religious relic, and she'd bless you with it, and you'd be better. But anyway, the Inchicore Wake. There was Hunt the Hare Sweeney and old Joe Sartini, a two-saddled bike, a black market on wheels. At the stepping at Church Street came the old hen and chicken. From Inchicore brought the word Molly Sonics was dead. And then came the news Dolly Fawcett had joined her. The queer ones were mourning and Eugene played taps. For the ladies of Dublin who made life half worth living, they carried no stories and they didn't draw maps. And the old ways of Dublin are passing and fading. People just vanish, but their names they live on. And with a rub of a relic and an act of contrition, shall we blamed it on Jar and an old mush hat bam. Well, Ruction's Murray was crying the tar Bartle Keegan. Our last post daily he bugled for hours. And Biggie Me O'Keefe with the Black Paddy Medlar, and the clough they were talking of gravestones and flowers. Came out in their hundreds and black shawls and mask cards, lousy head haircuts and out upon suits, and the smell of the mopballs and the once-a-year greeting was the music of love in the sad Dublin street. And the old ways of Dublin are passing and fading. People just vanish, but their names they live on. Oh, with a rub, with a relic and an act of contrition, shall be blamed it on Jar and an old mush hat bam. That evening we gargled, we hassled, we argued, we sang all the songs and the hymns we half knew. We toasted the ladies, the mollies and the dollies. Not a dry eye in Dublin, the begrudgers were few. Then President Kiley came in from Drumcondra with a madcapper crew and a brave soldier's song. Sure, we were all broken-hearted for the dear that departed at the Inchicore Wake in the days that are gone. And the old ways of Dublin are passing and fading. People just vanish, but their names they live on. Oh, with a rub, with a relic and an act of contrition, shall be blamed it on Jar and an old mush hat bam.